Max, bet time and the party rolls on to Caulfield. The carnival's over, but we certainly aren't over betting and backing winners. It's been a great week, so let's continue on and have a big Saturday again. Now, I want to do a couple of big races, a couple of big race previews. We've got the Japan Cup coming up on the 30th of this month, and then Hong Kong. So I'm going to take a bit of a break from Max Bet after today, but I'm going to preview the Japan Cup on the 30th. I'm also going to preview the Hong Kong International Day, which is on December 14. One of the reasons why I'm taking a break is to focus on Hong Kong and get Hong Kong onto TKZ, so you guys can all get the form on Wednesday nights and Saturdays or Sundays for Hong Kong moving forward. Let's get into today or tomorrow and have a look at two races. First, as you can see on the screen there, Beast Mode. Then we're going to go and have a look at the CF Orr Stakes. But let's have a look at the Golden Bullet on your screen there, Beast Mode. So what I want to do is go and have a look at the Beast's last win, which was on Cox Plate Day at the Valley, obviously. So that's the Beast there, jumping out of barrier 4. So I'm just going to roll the tape. So they go very fast here. This is really fast early speed from Beast Mode in this race. So he jumps out and he does it on my ratings a 1:19, which is very quick. And look how easily he gets to the lead there, Beast Mode. This is his highest rating. I'm going to go and have a look a bit later at his ratings and show you why. But after this race, I want to listen to an interview from Ben Hayes, and then I'll talk about that. Then we'll go and have a look at his ratings. So as you can see here, this is 1,000 metres at Moonee Valley. He just jumps straight to the front and shows him a clean pair of heels at the end. So this is the 1,000. 1,100, a lot of people think that he's a bit of a query, and that's why we got $3, or the tab might have put up over $4, which was just crazy. But that's why we're getting such a big price, because a lot of people don't think he's a bit of a query at that 1,100. I personally don't. He's won over Caulfield, but have a look at this last 100. He's going away from him there, really, and he's down on the line, strong through the line. I wouldn't have thought an extra 100 metres would have made any difference there. Let's get out of that, and we'll go and listen. Let's listen now to Ben Hayes talk about that win.
Ben Hayes joins us after Beast Mode burns the turf and the stable won back-to-back Imperatrice sprints. We anticipating that he could produce such a slick performance?
Off his 9.55 last start, we just kept him fresh, and with the blinkers going on, it's really changed him, and he's been really running well. So great ride by Craig, just showed how fast he is, and he's ran a quick time there. So nice to get a winner on the final day of the Cox Plate.
So two things out of that interview, which are really important. And the other thing that's important, if you get time, to listen to some of these interviews as well, because they just add so much context to a horse. If you do that homework, you realise why. Now, what he said in that little interview were two things. And let's go and have a look. We'll get back over to this race after. Let's just go back and have a look at the rating. So he said two things in the interview. He said about blinkers on. So the blinkers went on, and look, he's gone to a completely new level here, Beast Mode. So we talked about the pacifiers going on to that win, and we backed in Brizzy last week. The names just go straight out of my head. As soon as the race is over, I'll focus on the next one. Remember the fluctuations, but not the horses' names a lot of the time. So 97, look at this. Beast Mode was always in the 90s, high 80s, 90s, and now he's gone to a complete new level of high 90s and then 104. So the rating of 104 for two reasons he said there. First, blinkers, so 97, 90, 104, and also the 3 weeks in between runs. So they've really got to a point with Beast Mode where they found the key to him. They put the blinkers on, they're freshening him up. So this is 3 weeks between runs. These were four weeks between runs. So listening to those interviews really does add a lot of context to the horse, and sometimes horses just can completely go to a new level. And it's like when they've changed trainers sometimes. You just rule a line sometimes, and the bookies are looking at the old price, but you rule a line and you might just look at the next start or the next couple of starts and realise where the horse is at and why it is where it is. Let's get into the second and third picks here. So Hedged and Boston Rocks, both great horses. Hedge Hedge hasn't won for 8 starts, but has run very good races. Ran third last time after being held up at Randwick behind Cabalas. And this is the sort of horse Hedge is, though. Hedge needs luck. I think it's won 4 races at about a strike rate of 20%. But Hedge needs, I'll come back to that in a sec, but I just want to talk about Hedge. So Hedge has drawn barrier 2. Great chance, but it's going to need luck. It's probably going to be, I think, midfield fence over 1,100 metres at Caulfield. He's just going to need that luck to really attack the line and run down beast mode. So if I'm on beast mode and I know beast mode can do that, did that 104 rating last time, beast mode takes luck out of the race. And if beast mode runs to that rating, Hedge can't get near beast mode. I think beast mode can still run to that rating. A lot of people would be saying, which I agree with, Mooney Valley, 955, Mooney Valley, 1,000 metres, leader dominated track, which I talk about quite often. I'm sometimes against horses going from Mooney Valley to Flemington. Caulfield's the rail is out 6 metres. So I do concede Caulfield at 6 metres isn't so much a leader's track, but I think 1,100 is. And those reasons why I think beast mode can maintain that rating is because the blinkers are on and the freshen up. So I don't think beast mode may regress a little bit, but if we just go and have a look at Hedges' ratings here, let's have a look. So beast mode was at 104. We've got Hedged at 84 last start. Yeah, was held up and did 100. And prior to that, that was 1,200 meters. Which I think Hedged, even though it has a good record over 1,100, just doesn't have those consistent ratings. If you take the 100 out, he's back to 95 here. So assuming he's going to run a 98, beast mode would have to come back a fair bit for Hedge to be in the finish. So that's why I thought the $3 was such a good price about beast mode, because I think he can maintain that rating with the blinkers, with the freshen up, bang, going to a new level, and should lead. Willow just comes across from barrier 9 and leads and just runs fast. You don't need to think about it too much. Just run at that same tempo. Boston Rocks, I thought, was a horse that had a chance as well. Only if beast mode fails, then Boston Rocks comes into the race with that weight drop. Should have finished closer last start as well in the Kosciuszko, and goes good to 1,100, but he's going to be off pace as well, and he's going to have to run beast mode down. That is it for that race. I'm very confident. Beast mode is my best bet of the day. I have taken $3. I can get on early in Victorian races. So I took the $3. They did bet bigger. They did bet about, I think Fitzy said he was on at 440 from memory beast mode. Anyway, I'm happy with the $3. I think he'll start a lot shorter. I think he'll start closer to that price that I've got of 220. I think you can get about 260 or 280 out there now. Let's hope you can get the cash and we can continue on the roll from last week. Let's go and have a look at the CF Orr Stakes. This is a really interesting race. As you can see in my selections, there I've got a Evaporate top pick from Jimmy, from Vinrock, who's the good roughy bet, and then Angel Capital. So I won't go watch any replays on this. What I want to do is go to the old screen and have a look. Firstly, I want to go and have a look at the 2 horses which I like. Evaporate and also Vinrock. Evaporate isn't a bet. If I just go down and have a look at the market there, I've got Evaporate $5.50. Not fitting into as many other boxes apart from the one that I'm going to show you as what Vinrock is. So I've got $8. I took $16 yesterday about Vinrock. So let's just go and have a look at these 2 horses, and I'll tell you what I'm talking about here. So let's go to Caulfield race 8 and just and have a look at this past run. So I'll go to Evaporate first, and I just want to show you. I spoke about this very briefly on the Saturday set. So I think Evaporate was 4 times. If we just go and have a look at the settled positions here for Evaporate, 10th, 8th, first here, led, and Fitzy mentioned on the Saturday set, Evaporate's not a really fast beginner, but just works sort of to on pace, which I think it very much can do in this race. So first 1, when it won at Randwick, 2 starts back from that race, it settled. It's settled second. I've gone past you. It's a bit hard to line up here, but as we can see, so 10th, 8th got beat. First 1, 5th got beat. Second 1, Then if we go down, back down here, have a look down here, third, fifth, fifth, fifth. Let's have a look. Let's have a look here. Settled second, one, and the other one where Evaporate was on pace was here. Led one. So Evaporate 4 times has settled either first or second, and won the race. So Evaporate's only hope here is that I can see, especially with exceptional sprinters in the race like Jimmy and also Angel Capital, is to get on pace and just try and be tough at the end and find the line over 1400, which Evaporate can. So he's been running pretty good numbers, Evaporate, 99, 99 last two. He's in good form. He just hasn't had a great deal of luck, and he's settled too far back in these races as well. As you can see, he's settled 8th and 10th, which is too far back off the pace for him. If he can get closer, which I think he can run that number where he just falls in and wins with Jimmy or Angel Capital flying home late. So that's it for Evaporate. I think he'll get $7. I think I saw $7.50 out there today. Evaporate. I think he might drift. I think if he gets to that price, I'm definitely going to throw something on him. The other horse is Vinrock. Let's go and have a look at Vinny, who's only had a handful of starts. There's 7 starts. Ran 4th in a Caulfield Guineas last time behind Autumn Boy. Off a fast tempo, but let's just go and have a look. And then was unlucky at the Valley here too. That's a complete forgive run. Ran pretty well, not flying, but gets in at 53 kilos. But the thing I like about Vinrock is I think that Vinrock will go straight to the front. So we can see their first and second start, and also 3 starts ago settled in the first 2. 1, 1, 1. So Vinrock got to get to the front. Once again, doesn't have that acceleration of the other horses. So you don't want to be on these horses if they're not going to settle in the first sort of 2, at worst in the first 4, depending on the class of the race. This being a higher class race, you definitely, for Vinrock and Evaporate, you want to get on the bunny and just hope you can go hard and fall in. The other thing I like about both Vinrock and Evaporate is they're coming back from 1,600 metres to 1,400 metres, so they're going to be strong there at the end, and you're going to need that. With Angel and also Jimmy coming home late in this race. So if I go and have a look at Jimmy Star here, you'll see Jimmy Star hasn't been in a lot of slowly run races. That last race, the Russell Balding, where he ran a 105 rating, which is equal to his highest top here, they were both off very fast paces. Very fast and good. Average, below average, slow. Not many races, very slow, ran 7th at Newcastle at $1.85. Is when he kept getting beaten earlier in his career. So there's only a few things that beat Jimmy Star. One of them is a slow pace where he gets too far back and can't sprint over the top. The other one's bad luck that beats Jimmy as well. So if he gets too far back, gets bad luck, gets a slow pace. So a lot of those aren't in his control, but what I've really liked about the last 2 rides on Jimmy Star are that they were more positive. The Everest got caught 3-4 wide, no cover, and still ran 3rd. And the Russell Balding got a peach run midfield, one off the fence. But often we'd see Jimmy Star go back to last and drop out and then run home like a Chautauqua. These last 2 runs to me prove that he doesn't need to do that. He can settle closer. So he's got a very good sprint off, which a lot of the good horses do. He's got a very good sprint when you can settle closer. There's no point dropping him back. He's got a terrific chance in this race. I love Jimmy Star, but I just think $2 is too short based on the chance that he might have one of these very slow early tempos. And you've got another horse called Angel Capital in the race who sprints like an absolute champion off a slow pace. So if we go and have a look at Angel Capital's last 200 meters, he's done a 152 and a 150. So his last 200s can be very, very fast off slow tempos, which when I go and have a look at Jimmy, I do think Jimmy will settle in front of Angel Capital in this race, but let's just go and have a quick look at Jimmy's last 200 peaks, because it's very interesting which horse can actually sprint the fastest based on their past runs. So as you can see here, Jimmy, that was off a fast tempo. Jimmy's done a 142 and a 132. So Angel Capital for the last 200 meters actually has higher sectional times twice than what Jimmy Star has. So if I was riding Jimmy Star at a barrier 3, I would definitely, and I think Ethan Brown will, settle in front of Ben Melham, who's drawn barrier 5. So can't see Ben Melham crossing Ethan Brown to sit in front. I think both will get off the fence, one off the fence, with Mighty Ulysses kicking up. So I think Evaporate. I think Vinrock will go forward and lead. Evaporate might sit outside or go behind. Then Mighty Ulysses, and I think these main chances, Jimmy Star will sit in the running line, probably 4th in the running line or 5th, and Angel Capital will be right behind Jimmy Star and looking to just get him on the line. But I like these on paces, as I said. I like Vinrock at the price, and I like Evaporate on the price. Let's go down and have a look at the prices. So the overlays are Evaporate $5.50, $6. I think you can get $7 or $7.50, as I mentioned. $8 Vinrock. I took 16. I've got Angel Capital $4.20. I think Angel Capital will drift just because he's going to get back. He's had 10 starts for 5 wins and no seconds or thirds. His last 2 runs as well, Angel Capital, he's been very unlucky. Should have won the Rupert Clark. Tragedy beat in the Rupert Clark. He shouldn't have won the Everest, but he's sort of in between and got tightened for room and didn't really get out. And if you have a look at the last 50 metres of the Everest, which was a 1,200 metre race, he's super, super strong through the line there. And it was like if that was a 1,400 metre race, he would have won the Everest on that day. So he's going really well. Had a trial in between. I think he's a great chance. I'm a massive fan of Angel Capital, but what I'm not a massive fan of is taking short odds like a Jimmy Star or Angel Capital in races that have, number one, small fields, and number two, not a lot of pace on paper. They've just funnily run races, and the market's still priced off ratings. And as we've seen with the Treasure the Moments, Mr. Brightside, the Globe race, the Pride of Jenny race, then there's been a few others as well with these small fields, slow paces. These leaders can get away with it and can get the cash there as well. So that's about it for me. Those are my 2. Well, this isn't a max bet. This isn't a max bet race, but this is a very interesting race from a form perspective. Vinrock's not a max bet, but if you're looking to play in the race, I'd have something on Evaporate and something on Vinrock, and just hope you get a result there. But race 4 definitely is a max bet there. Beast mode, I've bet up. So that's about it for me. Next Friday, we're not going to do a max bet. I'll still be doing the Saturday set, and then I'm just going to chime in and out over the summer months if I see something good, if I've got time. But I'll throw something up on a Friday if I see an interesting race. I'll throw something up. So I'm still going to be doing videos. Then with max bet, I'll chime back in for the Autumn Carnival. As I mentioned, Japan. I'm going to do these big races. I love doing the Melbourne Cup, so I'm going to do the Japan Cup. I'm going to do the Hong Kong International Day as well, preview that. And also through the summer months, if I see something big coming up, I'll be jumping on and banging out a video. So hope you had a winning week last week. Have a great day on Saturday as well. If you've been winning, if you've been following TKZ and winning, don't increase your stakes too much. Just keep it all level, maybe increase 10% or just go up a little bit. But don't get carried away and think that, we're going to be tipping winners every day like we have been, because we know what happens. We know what happens. It goes up and it goes down and goes up and it goes down. So keep your head, maybe increase your stakes a little bit. But when the bad run comes, we still got to be there again, because it always does. Not being negative. It just is what it is. I don't get too up. I don't get too up when I'm going well, and I don't get too down when I'm not going well. Stay in the game, stay in the zone, and I'll see you soon.
Think, is this a bet you really want to place? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.